Welcome, friends, to the Reality of Health podcast. This is Monday Minutes. First off, I just want to thank everybody who's been listening. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to hear what I have to say, even though you've never met me. This podcast is different than other health podcasts. I didn't want the same thing, just parroting all the boring information that nobody really cares about. You've heard 1,000 times, because most of that's not even true. Most of those concepts are theories. They're not even real. They're just trying to sell you on their theory. Doesn't matter if it's from the medical profession or the natural profession. Everybody's trying to make money in this world. Everybody's trying to stake their claim and build their brand. What I want to do for you is dispel all these myths that you've been taught your whole life. Most of what you've been told is wrong on so many levels. And I'm not saying I'm always right. What I am saying is most everything that you're consuming in the health space is propaganda, especially what's coming from your mainstream media like magazines and websites and social media. When it's coming from your doctor, well, that's just the narrative being pushed by the pharmaceutical industry that runs all of medicine. If you've listened to the trailer for this podcast or the very first episode called Vision of this podcast, I've told you before that I've heard so many times in my life, I never know who to believe. And that's why this podcast was born. Not only do I have fun giving this information to you because I find it fascinating. Life is so fascinating. But I want you to see how fascinating it is. And I also want you to have clear and concise information. Our bodies are literal miracles. They are so interesting. There's so many nuances from the fact that your individual red blood cells actually fold in half to get into the very furthest reaches, to your eyes and your ears, which are some of the most complex systems on the planet, even to the reality, once you understand that your soul is you and not your body. Your body is only a vessel. As amazing as it is, what's more amazing is your spirit. When you see somebody, you're only seeing a facade of their spirit, their soul. The vessel is just like a car. The person's in the car. You evaluate the car and say, well, that's a good-looking car. And then other people say, I hate that color. And other people say, why didn't you buy a pickup truck? Another person said, if it's not a Ferrari, then it's a dumb car. Well, it has nothing to do with the car. Maybe they need a truck. Maybe they need a Ferrari. Who needs a Ferrari? I do. Maybe they need a four-door car, sedan for their family. Who knows? My point is, you are just a vessel for your soul. The soul's the most important thing. And I would love to be a part of your life every week to teach you about the interaction of those two and you on the planet. Your interactions every day are total miracles. So if you want the truth instead of just theories, because let's face it, no one really knows everything. There's a lot of guessing going on in the health world and biology especially, and science and physics, all this stuff. Now don't get me wrong, I like medical diagnoses when they can actually show you proof. Otherwise, they're just guessing too. Then when the medical profession doesn't like the outcome, then they'll ignore it. Let's say, for example, if they take out tumors and find that they're full of parasites, and then they don't tell you. That is not right. They should tell you the truth. But you see, that would ruin the money train. Wouldn't you rather know the truth? Hey, doc, what was in my tumor? Did you cut it open and look at it? Oh, it's the same as every other tumor. No, it's not. There are different types of cancers, and a lot of tumors are actually parasitical. I want to help you see that there are so many ways to heal, to feel better, and that you can feel better. At the same time, isn't it interesting to learn about you and your body? Because here's the problem. There is so much fraud in science. It's totally pervasive. And it's mostly peer-reviewed, which means I had people who believe in what I believe tell me that I'm right regarding whatever thing we're studying. That's called sniffing each other's flatulence.
Smells good.
I like being able to decide for myself and to know the other side of what they're trying to sell me to believe. And if you feel the same, then this is the right podcast for you. I don't hold back. I learned long ago that there is a separation between real health and money health. Real health practitioners don't make much money at all, and yet they have more healing testimonies than the money health side. Nutritionists, herbalists, naturopathic doctors, homeopaths, massage therapists, chiropractors, Chinese medicine doctors, Indian medicine doctors. None of these people make a lot of money, though they should. They make way less, and in some cases barely make any money at all. It doesn't pay to heal people. It pays to keep people sick and coming back for more and more treatment. I think most people don't care about their health because they don't know how wondrous their bodies really are. I think they take them for granted until they no longer can. Eventually, it all catches up to you. So if you're young and you're listening to this, I'm giving you advice for your future. If you're older, I'm trying to help you heal yourself and feel better. I probably have at least 75 topics that I want to share with you, and that list grows every day. I admit some of these topics are kind of boring, and maybe it doesn't apply to you, or maybe it will apply to you later. So I try to make them as interesting as I possibly can because, let's face it, unless you're into science and physiology and anatomy, this stuff's kind of boring. I'm not asking you to believe everything that I bring to you, and I do encourage you to check it out for yourself. Some things you won't be able to because that's just my life experience. And if you try and search it online, you're just going to get all the stuff that the powers that be want you to see and nothing underneath their narrative. So if you want to learn and get healthy and healing, then keep listening, as I will always bring you the best possible info I can. Thank you so much for being a loyal listener. Please hit the subscribe, follow button, all that stuff you know to do. It helps the channel. It helps other people see it. It helps me in my quest to help people. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves.